What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't have a favorite, but I would definitely say Scream is a very solid choice. Welcome to the ranking of the Scream franchise. Now, I am a very casual Scream fan in the fact that I like these movies, but it is not one that I rewatch very often. Off with the worst of this franchise, number 7, the newest released Scream 7. Now, where I land Scream 7 is I wanted to see the conclusion of the Carpenter sisters storyline, but unfortunately Melissa was unfairly let go. So I didn't have very high expectations really going into the movie with everything that did happen. But this movie was worse than I expected it to be. But it was not a terrible movie, it was just a bad Scream movie. This movie follows Sydney and her family getting targeted by Ghostface. Now, this is a bad Scream movie, but there are some things I did have fun with in this movie. I enjoy the opening, although I wish the fire looked better or it wasn't as terrible CGI fire. Overall, I had fun with the opening. I think the kills are very brutalist when I do like them. However, there are not a lot of stakes in this movie, and there's a lot of chances where injuries just don't seem to appear, and they're just like kind of get away with it, where like, how would you, is that even possible? That's in there too, but I think the kills again are solid but are tainted a little bit with the believability in the movie. I think Sydney acted very well in this one. Same with Tatum. I like the mother relationship and daughter relationship. There were some moments that are really sweet. Explain the Name of Tatum I actually really liked, and I do think Mark did a good job too. We don't see him a lot. I do like the one at the beginning though, when the first Ghostface goes after them and they're hitting the wall. I think that was pretty cool. I also like that. And I did find it funny when Gail ran over Carl. That was funny to me. And I do like Gail in this one, although we don't see her towards the end, which I do recognize. I did like Gail in this one. Now, Mindy and Chad, they could have gone without this movie. Mindy did annoy me in this one, and having her kind of be the new Gale kind of weather character is odd. It doesn't really quite fit at all. Chad I'm fine with, but I don't even know how these two survived at this point. This is like 3 Scream movies and they're still here. I don't even know how that's there, but they're still alive in here somehow. I don't know. And they do try something with Gale having something with his arm, so they attempt to be like, here's something caused from last time, that there's stakes, but doesn't really succeed in that. Again, there are multiple times in this movie, one where Sydney is literally, Tatum is getting attacked in the show's the coffee shop now, and she literally is standing in the middle of the street on her phone, guiding her daughter to find the gun. And she knows one of the killers is there, and she usually knows there's more than one, but she stands there on her phone, not aware of her surroundings at all, which, not a very smart move. And she leaves a room where she's barricaded and safe and with a gun, which, that's there, and leaves the gun behind. Like, the killer leaves behind the gun where Sydney eventually picks it up. And Mark gets taken out very violently. And I don't truly believe a police officer or anyone in that case, knowing this is going on, would go in a garage like that, not aware of surroundings at all, would even do that. And even then, he gets stabbed multiple times. Now, we don't know the exact timeline or how long this is, but it's hours. And he is still survived at the end, which I don't even know how you do that. One of them gets thrown through a window, completely fine. And there's just those instances throughout where I'm like, come on. And the killer reveals weakest of the franchise, worst of them. One you get very often is Carl. Now, objectively, he is going to be the worst Ghostface, as he's revealed very quickly. You don't know much about him. You know he was a mental patient. Yeah, you don't really know much about him. Then you have Marco. You don't get a lot of screen time with these killers either way, but Marco, he was the one who showed them the facility and lied to them about Stu being there. And Jessica is the neighbor. Jessica is my least favorite Ghostface. Now, is this partly due with the writing of her explanation? Absolutely. But her motivation is she, and apparently 2 others, because they don't really specify either, wants to make Tatum like the final girl, like another Sydney, because Out of Darkness helped her with her abusive marriage where she eventually killed her husband, and she was mad that Sydney left. And I don't like the implication here. She was in an abusive marriage, killed her husband, and the abuse, and she met them in a medical facility, the other two. And that's how she became that way, and I really don't like that implication, like, really, at all. She kills her own son, and she off-comment says it's, like, too much like him. And if you're gonna talk about something like that, you've gotta have better writing, and that's such a personal thing to me, where I'm like, I was not a fan of that at all. And again, this is just a bad Scream movie, not a terrible movie, but a bad Scream movie with some fun in it. It's not entirely terrible. At number 6, I have Scream 3. Now, when I rewatched these series, and I have a video of the playlist of Scream with all the Scream videos, Scream 3 was one I remember absolutely nothing about. This is the most forgettable Scream movie, where it's very, very meta. And we're gonna get to Scream 5 when I talk about meta-ness. I had an issue with that one a little bit. But the opening is fine. They do finish off the storyline with Cotton, when they kill him like that. I do like they introduced the voice thing. I thought that was a fun thing they introduced. Again, I think the kills, I mean, they're nothing special to say about that. This is where we get Roman as the killer. I think as a Ghostface, he is a good Ghostface. He's the only Ghostface that didn't have any help at all. But with the reveal and everything, not entirely done great. It's just a very forgettable Scream movie, and one that I don't remember really anything about when I watched it for the second time, unlike the others. At number 5, I have Scream, or 2022, or what they should have called it, Scream 5. Now, Scream 5 is where we have the new era movies, where we're introduced to Sam Carpenter and Tara. Sam is Billy's daughter. Now, did this movie feel a little too meta for me at points? Yes, it did. But I like the kind of idea of what they are going for. The motivation, I do like. I will say I like that. One of the killers with the boyfriend, very obvious. Kills, I think they're fine in here. The rest of the characters are kind of throwaway. Mindy is introduced in this one, and Mindy does annoy me. And I think this is a movie where there's some unbelievability aspects in this movie as well. But I had fun with Scream 5, but it is one that I'm like, it's an okay movie. But for Scream, I think it's fine. At number 4, I have Scream 4. Scream 4, we follow Sydney returning to Woodsboro for a book reading. Now, this used to be my favorite Scream sequel, and it has gone down on rewatch. I like Jill and Charlie as the Ghostface this one. I am on the team that Jill should have gotten away with it. I would have liked to see what would have happened with that. And I do like Kirby in this one. I think Kirby is a fun character. Now, Charlie, again, one of my least favorite Ghostfaces. I just don't jive with his motivation of him, like, finally getting the girl, and he kind of gives the vibes of, like, you reject me, I'm gonna be like this, you can't reject me, I'm a nice guy kind of vibe. Not a fan of Charlie. And the kills, they think they're fine here. I think one with Olivia is brutal. That was brutal. So again, and the opening goes on a little too long, but I still have fun with this movie. I think I like Sydney in this one. So overall, I just think it's a fun movie. I have fun with Scream 4. At number 3, I have Scream 6. Scream 6 is where we get the New York setting with Tara and Sam. And this movie is not perfect, but I have fun with this movie. I think there's some tension sequences, like climbing a ladder, I think was cool. I think the kills are fine. I like Sam in this one. I like really a lot of this. The end is disappointing towards the end. Having Richie's family go after her, there's a lot of disability that you really have to put, disbelief you have to put in there. First of all, Quinn's fake death. How, I understand why you did to put it out, but how are you gonna, like, explain that as a cop? Because Detective Bailey is one of them. How are you gonna explain that. You can't just like explain that away. You're like, how would you even put a new body up there in time? It just doesn't really jive there. And again, there are multiple times where people get like hurt often and they walk off. Ethan, again, very obvious one. I kind of clicked him, especially after the train sequence. And I do like the train sequence, so that was fun for me personally. I did like that one. So overall, it is a movie that I have fun with. While I recognize the weaknesses, I still have fun with Scream 6. I liked it. Scream, number 2, we have Scream 2. Scream 2 is a movie on rewatch that I honestly didn't remember much about. But I did remember the killers. And this is when Sydney is at college. I had a good time with this one. I remember that Miss Loomis was, but I forgot what she looked like. So I like the reveal of Miss Loomis, even if she was kind of like sketchy. You didn't know that. I thought that was fun. Mickey, I've actually come around to his motivation since when I think about like him wanting to stand trial and all of that. I think that's also fun. Having the boyfriend not be like that and having a sweet character moment, I do like. And this is just a very fun, solid Scream sequel to me. And I have fun with Scream 2. I like it. Number 1, the iconic Scream. Scream to me, again, I like this more the first time I watched this, but it is still an iconic movie. You have the opening, which is iconic. And I did forget to mention with Scream 2, also iconic opening. You have the iconic opening. You have Sydney's character. You have the first two, Billy Loomis and Stu Macher, which is arguably the best ghost faces we have ever gotten. The motivation's built up. This movie is still, it's like classic. It's an icon for a good reason. And it has aged well. So comment down below what your ranking of these Scream movies look like. And what you disagree with any of these rankings, and how you personally would rank it. And I'll see you guys soon, because next we are actually talking about the ghost faces and ranking every single ghost faces, to which at this point we have 15 across 7 movies. I'll see you guys there.